Hey guys, it's Angel again. The last couple of videos have been a little more edited and a little more stilted because I was pretty nervous in front of a camera. This time I'm just going to babble and pretend I'm talking to you guys directly. So if you are used to me babbling, this won't be a change. And if you've heard me talk about one of my favorite books before, sorry, you're going to hear me talk about it again. If you haven't, grab some popcorn or some chips or some cookies and some pop of some sort, but as soon as I'm done my review, I want you to go find the book and go read it because it's fabulous. So yeah, that's why this one isn't edited as much, because I wanted to just, gush and make you go read the book afterwards, and then we can talk about it. So the book is one that looks like this, but it's red, and it's got a black dragon on it instead. It's the first in a series called Temeraire. The author is Naomi Novik, and the first book in the series is called Temeraire if you're in the UK, or it's called His Majesty's Dragon if you're in North America, and it is fabulous. It's the first series that she's written, and it is basically Napoleonic Wars, set during the Napoleonic Wars. The main character is a British naval officer who becomes a British Air Corpsman, and the way they work in an Air Corps is the Air Corps is an Air Corps of dragons. And it sounds weird to say for a Napoleonic era book with dragons in it, but her attention to detail and her accuracy in the naval stuff is bang on. Like, it's just so realistic, other than the dragons. And her characterization is so good and so natural that you kind of feel like you're in that era. It doesn't feel jolting at all or jarring to have dragons or an air force. It just fits. And she is an amazing writer, and I can't wait to read the rest of her books. But in talking to someone about it recently, I decided to reread the series, and so I decided to talk about it on here. And in the process, after I finished the first one, I realized I actually missed the second book in the series, so I'm reading that one right now, which is this green one that you see. So you may be hearing about that one soon. But basically, the premise, like I said, Napoleonic era, British naval captain, and he has taken a ship in a battle that had a dragon egg in it. And dragons in this world are critical, obviously, to the war effort. And so you can't risk letting one go wild. And basically the thing with dragons is you have to kind of tame them as soon as they're born. As soon as they come out of the shell, you have to get them into a harness, or else it's hopeless. And so they draw straws. Lawrence puts his name and all of his crew's name into a container of some sort. And they draw straws, and somebody else wins or loses the lottery, depending on how you see it. And when he tries to get the dragon into harness after he's born, he just doesn't respond to him. But he does respond to Lawrence, this naval officer, and so Lawrence puts him into harness. And that means a whole bunch of things. A, the dragon and Lawrence are now paired, and dragons are long-lived and they don't take on new masters easily. So this is the end of Lawrence's naval career. And as much as the Air Corps is revered for what it does militarily, they're kind of they're shunned by society. They're the crude ones. They're needed, but you don't associate with them. And so he's losing this life that is fairly prestigious, and with the chance of prize money with every battle he wins, to a more solitary life of the Air Corps. And because you're so tied to your dragon, and because you're so traveling so much and it's so dangerous, likelihood of settling down and having a wife is all gone, and he sort of had an understanding with someone, so that falls apart, and it's horrid to see how his life has just sort of crumbled around him because of this. But through the first book, her writing is so good, you literally can't put the book down, because she's so vivid in her interactions between Temeraire and Lawrence. And Temeraire, basically, in this world, dragons emerge from the egg, having learned through the shell. So they know the language that they've heard through the shell as they've been maturing in the egg for years. They know tons of stuff to start because they've learned it through the shell, but they're also very fast learners at the beginning. So this dragon turns out to be vastly superior to any they've seen in the quickness that it learns, in how intelligent it is, how graceful it is in the air once he starts flying. He's just a fabulous dragon. And Lawrence, through the book, you see Lawrence starting out with seeing this as the end of his life and his career, to developing a real affection and a real friendship with Temeraire, and vice versa, Temeraire for Lawrence. And by the end, seeing that his company he prefers over anyone else's or any of his old mates. And it is a fabulous book. It is so well written. Did I mention that before? And the characterization, Temeraire comes to life for me better than most authors bring to life human characters that I can relate to. It's just so detailed. And I wanted to read you an excerpt, but since I don't have the book here, I can't. I'm telling you, go find this book. You will love it. It is fabulous. Whether you're into sci-fi fantasy, in which case I think you'll love it, because the dragons are just so well portrayed, and it's such a unique view of dragons. And if you're into historical fiction, because the historical side of this is so accurate, so detailed, down to how the ships are built and where they would creak, and it's just so fabulous. The way, as a captain has lost his ship, that he would be allowed even to keep his sword and stay on the ship that he lost to, as long as he gives the other captain his parole that he and his men won't try to escape or do anything to take back their ship. It's such a world that's so foreign to me, and yet it fits, and it's so well written. So yeah, you should stop this video now, because I could just keep rambling without saying anything else. I don't want to give away the plot too much, but you should stop this video and you should go find Temeraire if you're in the UK, or His Majesty's Dragon if you're in North America, and go read it, and then come back and talk about how awesome it is in the comments. Thanks, bye!